people need to realize the only reason why it's illegal is because of economics. It's because there's like 1,000 different things that marijuana would fix that pharmaceutical drugs right now are prescribed for. And it would cost the pharmaceutical companies billions and billions of dollars every year. If marijuana was made illegal, it would cost alcohol companies. When you see those commercials, like those the talking dog, the pot commercial, those are sponsored by Partnership for a Drug-Free America. Partnership for a Drug-Free America is funded by alcohol companies. It's hilarious. Alcohol's a drug. In 1935, they came out with a machine called a decorticator. And what a decorticator is, it allows you to effectively and economically effectively process hemp fiber. Because before they used to use slavery. And when slavery was abolished in 1865, they had no means effectively producing this pulp. But the Declaration of Independence was printed on hemp. The parachute that George Bush Sr. used to parachute in World War II, that was made out of hemp. Hemp had huge industrial uses. It was just very difficult to process. And so they came out with this machine called a decorticator, and it allowed them to really effectively produce it. And then Popular Science had this cover that said, hemp, the new billion-dollar product, and everyone was going to start using hemp for paper, for textiles. And William Randolph Hearst, who owned all these newspapers, and on top of that, owned all these paper mills, it was going to cost him millions of dollars to convert over to hemp. So instead, he started printing stories in his paper about some new drug called marijuana. And marijuana wasn't even a slang term for cannabis. Marijuana was used to describe a type of Mexican wild tobacco, completely unrelated. So they called it marijuana, and they said, this is how they got it illegal. They said people are smoking it, and blacks and Mexicans are raping white women. So Congress outlawed this new drug, not even knowing they were outlawing hemp. They had no idea, which hemp had been in use for thousands and thousands of years. And so then they came out with all these videos, or these movies rather, like Reefer Madness and all these propaganda films, and it was all just to get people to think that there's something wrong with this one. It was totally economic. 400,000 people every year died directly, in this country alone, directly as from use of cigarettes. No one's ever died from pot, ever. But it's illegal. And you're not going to live forever. All right? You're going to live and you're going to die. And everybody is. We're all temporary beings going through this life. And, you know, who are you to tell other people what they can and can't do? Alcohol doesn't make you a drunk. You know, I drink and then I stop drinking and then I go get something to eat and I hang out and I won't drink for weeks. It's crazy. You know, it's called moderation, and you apply it to every aspect of your life. I mean, if you want to get addicted, you can get addicted to spanking it. You can get addicted to gambling. You can get addicted to anything. Scratch tickets. People say, well, you can abuse alcohol. You can abuse pot. You can abuse cheeseburgers, too. You know, but I like cheeseburgers. It should be legal. All this stuff should be legal. We're not children. We're adults. But we got this one plant that's illegal. You're not going to live forever. This is a short time that we're here for. All different psychedelics, not just pot, because pot is a very mild psychedelic. And if pot is a gateway, it's a gateway to other things that also are consciousness expanding, like mushrooms and LSD, or all sorts of things that are also illegal.
You used the most powerful hallucinogen known to man, DMT?
Well, everybody's used that, really, because your brain makes it. Your own brain makes it while you're asleep. While you're in heavy REM sleep, everyone's brain produces way more than the effective dose. So what that means is, if you take the drug, like if it's chemically synthesized from a plant, and you take it, the amount you need to take is not nearly as much as your brain produces while you're in REM sleep. What I describe it as, it's like complex geometric patterns that are made out of love. Like you go literally to another dimension. The crazy thing is that everybody does it every night while you sleep. Nobody ever thinks about why you sleep. Like what you do is when you sleep is you shut off. You shut off and you just accept it, because we do it every night. But 8 hours of your day is somewhere you don't understand, you don't know about, you don't know what it is. You just go blank and then you wake up and it's over. But you're going through an intense psychedelic trip during that whole time. And the same thing as, you know, when you wake up from a dream, you can't remember it. Like, oh, this crazy dream, and it seems so real. And then 5 minutes later, you don't even know what the hell you were talking about. You don't remember the dream. That's exactly what happens when you smoke DMT. When you take this drug, you have these insane visions, and then you could barely remember it just a few minutes later. And it's because your conscious brain is trying to protect you from this experience, because it's so mind-blowing. What it literally is, it's not scary, because it's exactly the same thing that happens to you when you die. But this is what happens to you when you die. I mean, this is the chemical that your brain produces. And it's produced by a part of your brain called the pineal gland. And literally, it's your third eye. It's literally in the center of your brain where the third eye is. And it actually, in reptiles, it has a retina and a cornea and a lens. And they've done all these scientific studies on it. They did a bunch of clinical trials at the University of New Mexico. They did a book on it called DMT, the Spirit Molecule. And what this is literally like a portal to the afterlife. It allows you to sneak a peek over there and come back. It's mind-blowing. The crazy thing is they've known about this since like 1960. If you saw a movie and there was a substance in this movie that existed in every single ecosystem, it's in plants and it's everywhere. It's in grass. You take phalaris grass and you extract it, you get DMT from it. Literally. I mean, it's in more plants than it's not in. And if there was a drug that allowed you, if you smoked it, you could literally see God, literally have a communication with pure wisdom. Wouldn't you think that everybody would have heard about that?
Yeah.
Could you think that you could keep something like that under wraps for like 40, 50 years? This is what should be legal. All plants. All plants should be legal. Because they don't make strychnine illegal. Strychnine exists in Strychnus vomosus or something like that. There's a bunch of different plants that produce strychnine. And they're legal plants. You can buy them and you can make strychnine. You know why? It's not about something that kills you. It's about something that you won't be able to absorb propaganda the way you do now. You won't be able to look at the news the way you do now. You won't be able to look at common cultural conditioning and predetermined patterns of behavior. None of that stuff will make sense. It's very difficult to go through life after you've gone through that experience.
Okay.
The way I describe it, it's like any intense psychedelic experience is like pressing Control-Alt-Delete on your brain.
Yeah.
That's what it's like. It's like your brain reboot. It should freak you out.
It does
but
freak me
it freaks
out.
you out because you like to be in control.
Yeah.
But you're not in control, bitch. You're gonna die. No one's in control. You're in control of your body for a short period of time, and you should experiment with it.